friends, today we are going to be doing an Ulta haul, and you guys, I needed to do an Ulta haul like I needed a hole in my head. But I did have an Ulta gift card and I was just in a spendy mood lately. I don't know if it's just all the deals going on with the holidays or what, but I had an Ulta gift card and it was burning a hole in my pocket. So you must believe I got a lot of new items and they were all discounted, so I was pretty happy with that. And I got a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I know I just did an eyeshadow palette declutter not too long ago, and we all know I don't have enough eyeshadow palettes to begin with. But eyeshadow palettes just are my absolute vice. I really feel like I could probably do a makeup challenge where I use a different eyeshadow palette for every single day for an entire year, and I probably would still have enough eyeshadow palettes that I wouldn't even get to. But if you love watching Ulta hauls and you love watching beauty unboxings and all kinds of new products that you definitely don't need, then definitely please keep watching because I got a lot of new eyeshadow palettes. A lot of these are actually all from Morphe, and I know some people love Morphe and some people absolutely hate Morphe. I'm kind of indifferent to Morphe, but I do really like their eyeshadows. I think that they're good. Some people say they're horrible, and I just truly do not understand that because I definitely do not agree. I don't think they're like the world's best eyeshadow, but I think they are such a good affordable brand and they make good eyeshadows in my opinion. So full disclosure, if you don't like Morphe, that's pretty much all this video is gonna be. But let's get into it. I will share with you guys all of the things that I got from Ulta. So starting off, the first thing that I got, one of the very few non-eyeshadow palette items that I got, this is from LA Girl, and this is called the Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. So this one is in the peach corrector color, and one thing that I have come to terms with is that I don't really have very good sleep schedules, and I really feel like the dark bags under my eyes have just really started to show more in my old age. So one product that I have found in my makeup collection that is so old, and I'm pretty sure they don't even make it anymore, but it has been a go-to product for me, and it is the e.l.f. little pin. It's like one of their little clicky pins, and it's a peach under eye corrector kind of concealer product. Like I said, I don't even think they make those anymore because I've had mine forever, and I am almost done with that product and I absolutely love it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to have to find a replacement soon. So I started looking and I found this on Ulta, and it was very affordably priced. I think it was probably definitely under $10, I would say. And this looks very similar to the color of the e.l.f. one that I have, so I'm praying that this will be a good dupe for it. And I like that it has the little brush tip just like the e.l.f. one because I feel like it's easy to squeeze on, kind of brush it in, and then just like pat it in with my finger. And you guys, if you have dark under eye circles, definitely try a peachy tone concealer if you have a lighter skin tone, and if you have more of like a tan to deeper skin tone, try a slightly orangier type of color corrector, and make sure that you apply it underneath your foundation in your concealer, and it will make a world of difference. If you have any like bluish or purplish dark bags under your eyes, it will absolutely do wonders. You just have to find the right tone of corrector for you. So I have high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be perfect for me. So once I finish up my e.l.f. one, I will definitely be breaking into this one very, very soon. And the next two items I got are from Lottie London. I don't think I've tried anything from them before, and this is called their Color Cloud Longwear Matte Liquid Eyeshadows. So the first one that I got is this light blue one, and this one is called Sky Blue, and I must have just messed up because this was not the color I meant to get. The other one is in the color Peach Out, and I think maybe I just had like the concealer on my mind or something, and I subconsciously ordered this one because I meant to get the mint green one and the mint blue one. But oh well, I'm not gonna return it. I actually think it could be cute, and it actually is very similar to the color of the concealer that I got. But basically these are just like little liquid eyeshadow kind of paints, I guess I would say, like matte eyeshadows. Let me do quick little swatchies of them, and they dry down completely matte. They're kind of like, think of like a liquid lipstick for your eyeshadow. So this is the blue one here. It's like a very light white icy kind of blue, and then this is the peach color. And while we're at it, I guess I will swatch the little color corrector too. I swear you guys, it's almost like the exact same color as the Lottie London product. Okay, and this is the color corrector. Like I said, pretty much the exact same color. But I'm interested in trying these out. I think that these are gonna be really good. I really like these liquid eye paint kind of things, especially if I want to do like a topper shadow on top. I feel like something like this is really great at building these kind of colors, especially like something like a light blue like this, because I feel like these light pastel powdery type of colors are hard to get like the full impact of the color with like shadow alone. So I'm excited to try these out and get some like more adventurous makeup looks. I've just been doing like really basic kind of stuff lately, and sometimes I just want to like do something fun. So I think that those will be good for that. Okay guys, I was not kidding when I said I went crazy with the eyeshadow palettes. I know, I was crazy. But these were all on sale. I think these were all, I think they were $6.50 a piece, which I think is amazing. And like I said, I'm a fan of Morphe eyeshadows. If you don't like them, that is totally fine. But I do like them. I think that they're good. I mean, obviously they're not like the world's best formula, but they're definitely not terrible. So I'm gonna quickly go through and just like show you guys all of the palettes that I got and all of the colors. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, some of these are kind of repetitive, but I just couldn't help myself. And like I said, the gift card was burning a hole in my pocket. So the first one I got is the 9W palette. This one is called Smoke and Shadow. And it looks like this. I feel like this one's like a really good denim palette. It feels like a denim palette to me. That's just like the vibes that I get here. You got a lot of like blues and grays, but then you got just a little bit of warmth for like these like taupey tans and like this kind of bronzy gold here. And then like this fun little silver shimmer. So this one is like a really pretty palette. I feel like this one could just do like a really cute smoky look. The next palette is the 9V palette, and this one is called Vintage Rose. And this is what it looks like. This one I definitely think takes on more of like a toned down mauve-y grayish kind of rose, which is kind of a different palette. I feel like I don't really see like a super desaturated red tone palette like this. So this one's definitely a little bit more on the unique side for me, but definitely more of like in the mauve-y tones, very kind of like almost like a desaturated rose. So that is Vintage Rose. Another thing that I think goes without saying, I am a big fan of like smaller palettes these days, and they had a lot of their larger palettes on sale too, and I was kind of like going back and forth between like whether I wanted to get the larger palettes or the smaller ones, and I opted for the smaller ones just because I have to have like small makeup palettes that will fit in my makeup bag because I'm always like traveling back and forth every weekend. So I ended up going for all the little ones because I thought these would be the most useful for me, because honestly those big palettes, I don't use them that much. All right, the next one is the 9T palette. This one is called Neutral Territory, and when I open it up, this one is like just like an everyday kind of palette for me. This one's slightly more on the, I would say it's like a cool tone brown palette. It's not super warm, but I love the colors in here because you've got pretty much all the matte colors you could need, and it even has like this black color here, which I think is great because there's just so much depth you can do with those mattes. And then you've got a few shimmer options here as well. I wish these two were a little bit different. I wish one of these would have been like a light shimmer, a mid shimmer, and a dark shimmer. That way it'd be a little bit more versatile, but otherwise I think that this is a really good like everyday type of palette with a little bit more with that black. I feel like you can really smoke things up and darken and deepen it up with that black color. Next we have the 9K palette. This one is called Khaki Calling. This one was really intriguing to me. I love green palettes. I think that they're some of the prettiest eyeshadow palettes ever, so this one definitely caught my eye. This one just like reminds me of like army camo, camouflage kind of colors. They're very pretty, and I like this because the green is not like over the top green. As far as actually the green, you really kind of only have 3 greens. You kind of have this light minty frosty color here, kind of like this ashy olive green color here that is matte, and then this is like a deep dark, almost like a foresty kind of green there. So I like that the green is a little bit more subdued in this palette, but it definitely still gives you the vibes, and you can make it totally wearable with the inclusion of these like neutral warm brown colors here. Next we have the 9E palette, and this one is called Pretty in Peach. This one kind of reminds me of like a ColourPop palette. It reminds me of like all those palettes that they did back in the day. But again, this one, it's definitely not too outrageous. This one I would have to say is like the brightest, most out there color. But if you take that away, it's pretty much just kind of like a neutrally corally kind of palette, so it's definitely not too scary. This is one that, looking at it now, I probably could have skipped on it in hindsight, but I still think it's a really pretty palette, and I think you get a good balance of matte to shimmer in here as well. So that is the Pretty in Peach palette. Next up is the 9M palette, and this one is called Midnight Dune. This is another one of those like kind of an everyday neutral palette, but there's something about this that really, really called to me, and this one has that light, shimmery, bright white kind of like inner corner highlight color that I love so much. It has a perfect like taupey champagne color here. Again, it's got a good mix of neutral matte colors, and then you even have a deep dark shimmer color here. So this is just more of like a cool tone version of like your everyday kind of like matte brown palette. Next up is the 9G palette. This one is called Sunrise Glow. This one is another like really pretty palette. I don't know what it is, but this one is just so pretty. It goes a little bit more with the dusty kind of like pinky mauves over here that just, I don't know, it complements this palette so well. Again, you have a lot of those like kind of standard matte blending colors, and then I love this little pop of a shimmery gold here, and then again you have a nice deep dark matte color here that you can always deepen up the look with and go a little bit more dramatic with. This next one is called the Cabernet Blush palette. This one is in like a little bit of a different packaging compared to the other ones. This one is just like a little cardboard packaging. And this one, you guys, this might be like my favorite palette that I got. Again, this one's actually kind of similar to that last one that I just showed, but this one has a little bit more of like copper tones in it that just are stunning. I love this one so much. I can't wait to use this palette. This one is just calling me right now. I feel like the like cranberry kind of look is just, it complements green eyes so well, so I want to use this one like right away. And again, this was in the same type of packaging as the last one. This one is called Champagne Glow, and again, this one is kind of like a typical, more on the warmy kind of gold side, browns and stuff. Again, it looks so pretty. I know I literally just showed like probably two other palettes that looked very similar to this, but I love this one. The only thing is I wish these ones had mirrors, because mirrors are absolutely invaluable whenever you are working out of a teeny tiny little makeup bag. So I wish these would have had mirrors, but I think I will survive without them. And I like the color placement of this one too, because they've got the shimmer here, 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 and here, and then it's like a little X of like matte colors. I feel like that just looks so satisfying. All right, this one is the penultimate palette. This is 9R. This is that plastic packaging, and this one's called Bronze Metal. Again, does this not look very much similar to the one I just showed you? But this one almost goes a little bit more of like a yellowy gold with some of these colors here, which is so pretty. This kind of like feels like a honey palette. I think that this is so pretty. And this one, you have a lot of shimmers in this one. The top two rows are shimmers and the three bottoms are matte. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this is a little shimmer heavy, but still, I think it's a good palette. And finally, the last palette I got. This one's a little bit of, I would say, my most wild card of all the palettes that I got today. This one is the 9Z palette. It's called Just Say Zen, and I like the outside of this one. It's very pretty. And color-wise, I feel like this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but this one just really spoke to me, and I love that it had these little pops of this like minty green kind of color. It might be very pretty to do with like this little eyeshadow on the underneath and then like do these on top. I wish I would have had the mint one, but that was my bad. And then of course it's got these really fun like purple colors here, very out there. And then you have a little bit of like a, I would say like a little bit of like an ashy peach kind of color here, and then a cool tone matte brown here, so you can kind of do something really interesting with this palette. And I felt like one of them had to be like a different type of palette. So that is everything I got. I know I went crazy on the eyeshadow palettes, but they were having a really good sale and I couldn't help myself. But I'm so excited to test out these palettes. I can definitely see a lot of these becoming like a new everyday favorite of mine. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. Link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.